Hi guys, it's Lauren from Real Life, and today we're going to talk a little bit about everyone's favorite topic, sexually transmitted infections or diseases, right? STDs, STIs, kind of talked about a little bit interchangeably, but a lot of times when I'm talking to students, usually their only concern is really pregnancy. And while teen pregnancy is a really big deal, right? Girls can only get pregnant maybe 3 to 6 days out of the month, but how often can you get a sexually transmitted infection? Every day, right? If you're going to be sexually active. So it's a pretty big deal, and people need complete information in order to make informed decisions and choices regarding sexual intimacy are major decisions that have the ability to impact a person for the rest of their life. So sometimes it's not always the number of people that someone's been with, but the number of people that they have been with as well. So this is what we call your disease exposure rate. And I love to show students this poster I'm about to show you because it really illustrates it with a big wow. Hopefully you can see this okay, but it says, when you have sex with someone, you're exposed to every partner that person has been with, plus their partner's partners. So for example, right here, you can see with one person, right? If both people are virgins, it's like you've been with one person. But now moving right down to your second partner, if that person's only been with one other person, it's like you've really been with 3 people. We're talking about, with sexually transmitted diseases and how it could be calculated. So with 3 people, it's like you've really been with 7. And moving on down the chart, 4 is really like 15, 5 is like 31, 6, 63, 7, 127, 8 over 250, 9 over 500, 10 over 1,000, 11 over 2,000, and 12 over 4,000 people. So before you're thinking, oh, that's just some crazy number, it's actually a conservative number, because if any of those people have been with more people than you, then that number is actually a lot larger. So that's definitely something to think about, because the infection that you get today can possibly come from a distant person's partner, previous partner, someone you may have never even met. And you have to outweigh the risks and if it's worth it, right? Another thing I love to do with students is our lovely wheel of misfortune. You can see it right behind me, right? And it's statistically accurate, meaning the chances of getting maybe chlamydia or HPV are larger than, say, syphilis or hepatitis B. And then there's 3 pink spots on here for a little bit of luck, and pregnancy issues and emotional issues. So let's spin our wheel and see what we get, and we'll talk a little bit about it. So that was a weak spin. Okay, here we go. For our first spin up here, it says broken hearts. So definitely emotionally, high emotions are at stake, right? A lot of times people think, oh, it's just physical, it's just that physical connection, but you can see heartbreak can really affect a lot of people, and sometimes it could even cause depression, especially in girls. But let's go on for our next spin. So this is every time you're sexually involved, what your chances are of getting some of those things. So we missed excitement here, and we got rejection, right? And nobody likes to be rejected. And sometimes if teens feel pressured in a relationship, or they just want to be accepted by their peers, they want to avoid being rejected by a boyfriend or girlfriend. But sometimes because, average high school relationship maybe lasts, only a few months, they can kind of feel like that ultimate rejection if they happen to break up, especially when sexually involved. All right, let's see if we get a sexually transmitted infection this time. Oh, nope, broken heart. So we got that one again. I'm gonna see if it goes up. Landed on HPV. So that actually stands for human papillomavirus, and this is one of the most common STIs, and it actually accounts for the majority of STIs in the US. And there's over 150 strains, and a lot of them do go away on their own, but some do cause cauliflower-like genital warts that are painless, but can reoccur and can be dormant for up to 20 plus years. And other strains can cause genital cancers in both men and women, and specifically cervical cancer in women, which could be a really big deal. So let's spin again and see what we get. Oh, family problems. So sometimes, family problems can occur especially if you're not talking to your family, you're trying to hide stuff during these years. You definitely want to, I know it's definitely hard to talk to your parents about some of this stuff, but talking to them or another adult that you trust can be really important. Let's see what else we get here. Oh, chlamydia. So chlamydia is another prevalent infection, and it's one of the biggest pus-forming bacteria that can be cured by antibiotics if you know you have it. The trouble is, a lot of times there's no signs or symptoms, especially in girls. I think it's like 85% that don't show any signs or symptoms, so they don't get checked. And there is an antibiotic for it that you can take if you do have it, but left untreated, it can lead to PID, or pelvic inflammatory disease, meaning that maybe you won't be able to have kids later on when you want to, because it can lead to infertility, which is a huge deal, right? And a lot of teens that we talk to don't realize that chlamydia and gonorrhea can lead to infertility, or not being able to have kids later on when they're ready for it. So for these reasons, sex is a really big deal, right? And it can lead to maybe, like we talked about here, a broken heart or a feeling of betrayal, maybe just sex losing its value, or a child you're not prepared to take care of, right? Because a lot of teens don't realize that you can get pregnant even the very first time you have sex, or a sexually transmitted disease or infection. So I hope you learned something new, and we'll see you next time. Click to subscribe to our video channel for more videos each week about healthy dating and relationships. Thanks.